IVF, it's less about physical and it's more about mental.
So, what is postmortem depression and how should women deal with it?
I think postpartum depression is something that you should be aware and accept and acknowledge.
Yeah. So, your your career started as an RJ. Then you worked as a layout designer in Times of India. And from there, you went to IT industry, became a product manager at PayPal.
No matter, even after 100 years or, in the business world, if we are living in the same construct, I think discipline is very, very, very important. It's the basic.
You're grown up with a single mother, and your mother was doing all kinds of, jobs, selling flowers and working in a garment shop as a saleswoman. So, what are the common emotional and physical experiences that women face during an IVF pregnancy?
IVF, it's less about physical and it's more about mental because,
Emotional.
you don't know with what mental stage or frame of mind a woman is getting into an IVF treatment, right? Let's say somebody was trying for 10 years and then it's their last chance, or they think this is their last chance to get pregnant, and financially they're already struggling. So it involves a lot of mental pressure, which makes the journey so painful. About pain, injection, I think people are strong. They can take all that, mostly, right? But these are the things physiologically or more psychologically that women go through or a couple go through is what makes it even more painful.
Yeah, so is surrogacy an option? I think a couple of years ago, you had this case of actress Nayanthara and Vignesh having twins, a surrogate mother. And I'm told that the surrogate mother was a relative of Nayanthara's. So is that an option that people can explore today?
It is definitely an option. Let's say IVF is also not successful or women choose not to, be pregnant, whatever the choice could be. It is just becoming so accessible for women as well, couples as well. And is that expensive? It's very subjective. Depends on, because the commercial surrogacy is illegal in India. Today you cannot do it. It used to be there, but now it's not the case. So women or couple will have to find a relative who is ready to do this, and that relative should already have a child. I think there are quite a lot of rules on how you can choose a surrogate mother as well. It is a little complicated, but if you ask me, is that possible? Yes, it is possible.
So what is postmortem depression and how should women deal with it?
I think postpartum depression is something that you should be aware and accept and acknowledge. Okay, I am going through this and it is very normal. It's something that women will have to accept. Always bracing up that saying, I am an iron lady and, nothing like this happens, or postpartum depression is only for rich women, I wouldn't get, are some of the comments that I listen from women, and people think it is not even a real thing. But it is proven, it is there, and women cope up with that in a different ways. Of course, some women go to a therapy, some women they talk to a friend, some women have a self therapy. But I personally suggest going for a therapy really helps. It helped me, and whatever is affordable to you, you should still go to a professional and have a discussion, and you should cope up with a professional help, which will make the whole thing much more easier for you to handle.
Yeah, a lot of women are concerned with this pregnancy stretch marks. You find a lot of people, even Googling about it. How should women deal with it? Or can they avoid this at all by, maybe physical exercise or something during pregnancy?
Yeah, I think when the collagen breaks in a particular area due to weight loss or weight gain during pregnancy especially, that's when you get stretch marks. See, some people also say you should just take it like a proud mark. Not everybody can take it that way. If that happens, there are treatments like laser, where if you can afford, go ahead and then do it. Or is there a way to avoid it? There are quite a lot of natural way people claim that happens, applying castor oil and this oil, that oil. I don't know. I have a lot of stretch marks and I've not done a lot about it.
Yeah. So, your career started as an RJ. Then you worked as a layout designer in Times of India. And from there, you went to IT industry, became a product manager at PayPal,
Correct.
where you worked for about 6 years. Now, all this transition, today you built a company which is valued at rupees 124 crore, So, how has this transition been for you? And what would you suggest or what would you advise for people or startup owners? What are the 5 steps to building a successful business in your view?
I think when you tell me about the whole journey of, starting an RJ, when I started as an RJ, I didn't know I'm going to be doing this. But I always knew I'll do something well. Because from my childhood, when something is given to me, I do it really well. I want to make sure nobody does it like me. And that one thing really helped me. That can be one step. But even if you're working, even if you're...
The fire in the belly.
More than fire in the belly, I think doing that with a lot of care. That if it is given to me, I'll do it well. I'll do it in my style, but I'll do it well. Fire in the belly is, of course, everybody can have a fire in the belly. Yeah, I will do this and that. That when you execute, that is when the real fire works. Taking that responsibility and, when you do it, be very thoughtful about it and do it well and take a whole ecosystem, believe in what you're saying. It could be the step number 1. Step number 2 is, I think being frugal is a great thing because you do not know in entrepreneurship what takes a turn and what's going to be there. There is a unannounced VC winter and so many things happens and nothing is in your control. So as much as possible, you can be frugal. Number 3 is one of my friends, he's also an entrepreneur, told me one thing, Padmini, you know what, as an entrepreneur, cheating other people is an option that we can do, cannot do, that's fine. But we should never cheat ourselves. I think that sort of put me in a place, yeah, that's right. Because as an entrepreneur, you think your idea is amazing. You think, this is going to be the next $1 billion company. And you think you are creating an impact like nobody else. At the same time, that reality check, am I being real? When I'm also an angel investor, when entrepreneurs come to me saying, it is going to be the next $1 trillion company and this is what I'm going to do. Ambition, dream is all great, but there is also a reality. You should never cheat yourself. So point number 3 is you should never cheat yourself. Number 4, this definitely worked for me and I keep seeing this to people. I think friendship, having relatives is very different and work is very, very different. So bringing that very objective mindset at work, looking at business as business is very important. Hiring friends and then being okay with that, and then you cannot create a business. You cannot create something big. You can have a chill time and then have a great time with your friend, but I think avoiding friends and family as much as possible in business. For some people it does work, but most people it doesn't work. So you don't have to, sort of break that friendship as well. So that's step number 4. Step number 5 is discipline. Even if you have everything, great funding, great set of people, all this in place, still if you do not have that discipline of, it could be punctuality, being on time, or, doing what you just committed, or sending a response to a mail, very small things to very big things. I think it's all very important. It all comes under discipline, because if you do not have discipline, your mind is sort of focusing on too many things. You'll wake up in whatever time you want. You will not have a routine. You'll eat whatever. So I think even for personal life, a lot of discipline is required. And people might find me very boring. People might find me very old school. But no matter, even after 100 years or, in the business world, if we are living in the same construct, I think discipline is very, very, very important. Is the basic.
Yeah, talking about discipline, I think you used to financial discipline right from a very young age. You're grown up with a single mother, and your mother was doing all kinds of, jobs, selling flowers and working in a garment shop as a saleswoman. What was the experience like, and what were the things that you learned as a child to manage yourself and to manage finances? I
think a lot of business skills, a lot of negotiation skills, a lot of people skills I've learned in my journey of, being with my mother. People think you got to really go to an MBA school to learn this. I'm sure people do. But I've learned all this in my journey of being with my mother and doing all these odd jobs. I'm sure no, higher education can give you that practical idea of how things work, what people's intentions are, how can you save yourself with, and understanding people. All this comes from that very interesting, challenging childhood and upbringing. Thanks to all that, because you just mentioned about the fire in the belly. From a very young age, having that fire in the belly happens only when there is no food in the belly or there's not enough things around you. You want to just go there. Like, when you walk around and then see a house, like, I want to buy a house like this someday. Or see a car, I want to buy a car someday. And that gives you progress, that gives you happiness, and you achieve that and then go to the next. From the day one, if you have everything, then you got to learn all that from a book. And I don't know how it works. Now it's very difficult for me to teach all that to my daughter, telling her this is how life is, this is how I struggled. I don't know how much is going inside her head. But for me to see that practically, it was very helpful. I'm so grateful for the upbringing I had.
What a great, inspiring conversation we've had, Padmini. It was a pleasure having you with us. But before I leave you, I wanted to ask you, has anyone told you that you look like Kanimozhi, DMK MP, Member of Parliament and daughter of former Chief Minister Karunanidhi? You look like Kanimozhi in many ways.
I do. So, quite honestly, nobody ever told me this, but a lot of people told me that I look like a politician. My friends always tells me, you should stand for MLA and MP. I don't know, every time it comes, there is a new political party, they'll be like, go join that party. But maybe,
But at the back of the mind, you're also considering politics at some point of time.
I don't know. 10 years back, if you've asked me, are you going to be a businesswoman? Are you going to be an entrepreneur? I would have said no. But I am here. I don't know where life leads.
So talking about Kanimozhi, and you said you were talking about friends have said you might join politics. Today the hot topic is Vijay's entry into politics. What do you think about it?
I'm happy. I mean, it's definitely a change, and I do follow politics to an extent. And when there is a new leader, there's always a new perspective. There is a new angle to look at problems and issues. No matter what, end of the day, these things needs to be sorted in a different style. Maybe why not in his style? I support.
Thank you, Padmini. It was a pleasure having you with us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.